What do you think about the whole George Floyd situation? Do you have any opinions on that?
I mean, I think it's been a long time coming, to be honest, and I'm glad that finally it seems like the final drop has reached the bucket, so to say, and that finally people have said we're fed up and they're going for it. And I hope they make it. Like, I hope systemic change is about to be realized. Whether you want to follow like a legal path, whether you want to put quotas in certain jobs, whether you want to follow education. Just right now, I think it's just outrage, and they want to see justice for George Floyd. They want to see change in police brutality, police behavior. But how to actually reach systemic change is a different story, and I don't really know where to start. Education is important, though.
Like it all kind of has to be torn down and rebuilt up again. So like the whole like police system is entirely corrupt and like racist and violent, and so yeah, that's how I feel about it.
How would you guys define evil?
As a social construct, there is no evil, there is no good. But yeah, like everyone has their own personal beliefs, and that's fine. But as long as you don't infringe upon other people's rights and you don't enforce your own beliefs on other people, then I think you're within your own rights. As soon as you start doing that, that's evil, basically. Yeah.
So do you think what the policeman did, was that evil?
Which policeman? I've seen a lot of evil police officers.
The policeman who had the knee on George Floyd.
That's clearly evil because that is the definition of infringing upon someone's rights. So
Do you see what you're doing here?
it's a social contract. What do you mean?
You said that there is no evil.
I mean, there is no absolute evil. Of course, there's evil in the world, but it's evil by my own definition, basically.
So what he did is not always evil.
I mean, it's not up to me to decide whether it's evil or not.
But you want to make changes to the system?
Personally, want to see changes, yeah.
Okay, so it's always evil. Or what if the policeman says it's not evil by him? Who are you to judge him? So who are you guys to judge him?
I'm no one to judge him.
So, but you are
Me,
judging him.
you are asking me about my opinion about him, so I'm giving you my opinion.
But you want to infringe your opinion about him to change the system? Isn't that judgmental?
I would like to see the system changed, yeah, but there is no absolute evil by which we should strive for certain things or whatever. That's like a conglomeration of other people's beliefs and views. They come together and they decide like sort of what's evil or what's good or whatever.
Okay, so according to you guys' definition, how would you define evil?
I mean, I guess using your advantages and your power to kind of have control over somebody else.
How about lying? Is that wrong?
From like a moral standpoint, yeah.
And how do you define a good person?
For me, personally,
Yes.
again, I think a good person tries to be accepting of others. I think that's the first and foremost thing. They try to live their life in the right way according to their own norms and values without infringing on other people's norms and values, and trying to be as accepting as possible of other people.
Do you guys believe in God?
No.
How about you?
I mean, not in the traditional sense, but I think that there is something else. So yeah.
So according to you, what happens after someone dies?
Nothing. It's just over.
Oh man, I mean, I have no idea.
According to your moral standards, do you believe that you are good people?
I try.
I mean, like, I can view myself as a good person, but somebody next to me could view me as a bad person.
In Christianity, there's something called like a good person's test, and as far as I understand from you, these values align with yours. Have you ever told a lie?
Yeah.
And what do you call someone who tells a lie?
I don't know. Dishonest in the moment?
Maybe a liar?
Maybe, yeah.
How about you?
I mean, I guess a liar.
Have you ever taken something that's not yours, so stolen something?
Once, when I was 11.
I stole a little chocolate egg when I was like 7.
Have you ever dishonored your parents?
Every day, I think.
So the last question, there are 10 commandments, as you know. That's the personality test we're using here, but I'm not going to go through all of them. But the last one is that Jesus, he said, you know that it's written that you should not commit adultery, so break the marriage. But truly I say to you, if you've looked at a woman and lusted for her in your heart, you've already committed adultery with her in your heart. So Jesus is reminding people that God sees the heart. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust after her in your heart?
Never.
You've never done that.
Never.
You're laughing.
Ever.
You're laughing.
Yeah, on a daily basis. I don't know. Yeah.
So let's assume that there is a God and he has to judge you by those standards. Would you be innocent or guilty?
By those standards set out,
Yes.
I am guilty of those things, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
Would God find me guilty? Yeah, probably.
Yes. So if he would have to send you to heaven or hell, what would it be?
If he is as strict about all those rules, I think hell is going to be a lot more populated than heaven.
I feel like the good I done have like outweighs the evil. I don't know.
So just to take an analogy, imagine that someone kills my brother and he goes to court, and then when he's about to have his sentence, he pleads the judge and says, "I know I've killed this person, but I've done a lot of good deeds." If then that judge tells the whole courtroom, "I see that you've done a lot, so I'll let you go free," what would you think about that judge?
If you make a mistake that big, you deserve to be punished for it, at least to some extent.
According to Christianity, God is a good judge, so He set out these laws, and because He's a righteous judge, He has to judge according to them, and that means that you guys and me. So I'm not judging you, but by own admission, you are lying, stealing, people who have lusted in your hearts, dishonored your parents. So I'm not judging you, but according to that standard, do you know what God did so that you and I wouldn't have to go to hell, wouldn't have to endure that judgment?
According to Christianity, I don't know.
It was actually a legal transaction that happened. So he died to pay the penalty, so that God can both be righteous and loving, so that people can go free of the judgment because someone has already paid for that. According to the Bible, you have to believe in Jesus Christ. You have to believe that He died for your sin, and then you have to turn back to God.
If there is a God, He'll forgive me for the indiscretion that I don't and still judge me on the character of my heart.
But then He wouldn't be righteous.
If hell is true, then the pain in the first week is going to be bad, but after that, it's just going to be the same, no?
But then that wouldn't be a punishment.
No.
And then God wouldn't be righteous.
I mean, I don't know about that.
God is a good God, and therefore He's also righteous. He cannot ignore our sin. But there is a hope, and that hope is Jesus Christ. He died on the cross to pay the penalty that we deserved. And He rose again so that whoever believes in Him will have a new life.